seen AI helping a number of industries in the last year, and now there's a company that's using AI to resolve IT issues in the workplace before they escalate, allowing businesses to greatly scale their IT support team. Here to tell us more is the co-founder and CEO of Friday, TJ Carwall. TJ, thanks so much for joining us today.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, TJ, oftentimes when we talk about artificial intelligence, people don't really know exactly what it is, what it does, but specifically with Friday, this is a brand new approach. You were the first company to do something like this. Give us an overall view of who Friday is and what you do with AI.
Sure. Yeah. So Friday, at its essence, is really an IT operations tool. And its entire focus and purpose was built up ultimately to automate a lot of the complexity around the IT support process. And so today, Friday really resolves and helps organizations scale, not only from a resource perspective, but also from a cost and implementation standpoint on how they service their IT support for their organizations.
So it sounds like a lot of different companies can really utilize Friday and that AI setting there. But what problems really does Friday solve for companies?
Yeah, I think the ones that we've seen the most amount of impact on is really around infrastructure downtime and really just the business continuance associated with that. So really, to answer the question directly, the biggest challenges we're solving are, IT downtime, the complexities, and a lot of the challenges around supporting remote sites, remote customers, remote employees, and really their ability to perform and, do business without any IT issues and hindering their ability to do so.
Well, we all want no IT issues, so that's an amazing thing right there. But another big thing, privacy and security. Those are two things that a lot of businesses really prioritize. So how does Friday ensure both privacy and security for companies?
Yeah, it's a good question. Over my tenure and my co-founder Gary Wright's tenure, we built Friday with security first in mind. And so without getting too much into the technical issues, really all data that's collected on premise from a customer's environments, both at transit and at rest, is ultimately encrypted, right? We AES, which is oftentimes referred to as military grade encryption, everything from transfer to any sort of information that's passed along to what's presented in the dashboard of Friday, everything is encrypted and secured at all times.
So what do you believe is the best way that some of these companies can utilize Friday to the best of their ability and maximize the best results?
Well, really just getting Friday in their workplace to just start discovering and learning their environment is the great start, right? And so our solution is really designed to be with very limited administration overhead. We put a lot of emphasis in making this easy where you can plug it into their environment. Friday starts learning what it needs to learn. And then ultimately just let Friday set a baseline of normalcy in their environment so it can perform level 1 support tasks just like a real life person would, right?
So it sounds like you've already had some customers utilize Friday. And what kind of an impact have you seen within your own customer base that Friday has helped out with?
Yeah, we've seen pretty tremendous impact, right? Not just in one particular vertical, between education, retail, hospitality, healthcare. We've seen pretty profound impact, mostly in the ability for an IT organization's ability to scale, but also the costs associated with it. Their end customer experience who are getting serviced with their IT services from their organization. But in reality, we've seen Friday solve problems that have taken anywhere from traditionally 3 days and 5 days to a week plus, and quite honestly, shrink that mean time to resolution down to minutes and hours rather than days and weeks. And we're doing that across almost every vertical, not just education, not just healthcare, but every footprint ultimately that we're in today.
Well, that's so incredible. This artificial intelligence oftentimes can be hard to grasp. But this next question, it's kind of, you probably have a broad answer for it. But TJ, how does it all work? How does it solve these problems so efficiently?
Yeah, we've been head down in development for the last, almost 9 years now. And we took a lot of our mind share that we learned supporting several thousand locations around the country and really built it into the product, right? And so to answer your question on how it works, really, every site that's being managed or being supported, quote unquote, by Friday's AI has an appliance that sits on site, gathers information on premise, encrypts it, sends it back to what we call the Friday cloud. And the Friday cloud has really all the intelligence around how to respond to issues based on the data that we've collected. And so from the customer's perspective, we're ultimately solving problems on premise a lot of the time before anybody even knows about it. And so it's doing it in the background, it's doing it pretty quietly, and it's only engaging escalated support folks when it needs to in the background.
Well, TJ, I know a lot of businesses are listening to this interview and wondering, how can I get involved? So what's the best way for them to contact you, and what are you offering new businesses?
Yeah, I'd say certainly FridayAI.io is our website. We have a sales outreach forum there, so that'd probably be the most efficient way to get a hold of us. We're pretty active on LinkedIn and social media, so please feel free to reach out on those channels as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, TJ. We just appreciate learning a little bit more about AI and all that Friday has to offer. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate the time.
Of course, if you'd like to learn more about Friday, you can visit FridayAI.io. And of course, we'll have a link on our website as well at liveinthebay.tv.